Sipping it with Mittens, joking about his name is so fly. Mittens, cause he whipping, don't you get it, but that stove's hot, hot. Now let this be a lesson, professor. He handling and hitting his possession. Ooh, what you cooking, what you cooking? Scalding hot beats, but blow up before it's cooking. Ooh, I know you're looking true. I'm out taking with this beat on my lady, man. I'm really trying to date it out. What's the number trying to call out? What about my team? Wood, shout they don't get logged out. Made by Bethesda, the only way we fall out. Morocco, you a mole. Find another hole to crawl out. Hey, I'm sick of squirrel with the biggest girls. Lace sister, case get up. I think you're stripping, girl.
All right. Right back at it, because why would we? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News 2nd edition. I am your host, and welcome to the GOUT Report / Retort. I'm still working on that. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another bit of DSP lore for you, if you will. A blast from the snorty past, if you will. Let's see, we're going to go over DSP's Condo tour from August of 2011. It's broken up into 4 parts. Now, if you guys should have already seen the raw product, which was already posted before this, now we're just going to go over that. The link to the individual videos of DSPs is down in the description, or if you feel the need to use the one that I made, it's the video before it, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. Alright, so if I don't know how long it's been since I did the first Condo tour, sorry, because I kind of jumped around with all this DSP lore shit. So we're just gonna basically see what happened from the 2011, what he's acquired, I should say, from the original 2011 Condo tour to now in August. Now, if I remember correctly, hold on a second, I may have some notes here. Okay, the original Condo tour. Condo tour in 2011. What he actually posted that in February of that year. So now we're in August. So we're about 6 months or so. So if you guys feel the need to go back and see the previous one, go ahead, and that'll kind of give you guys a bit of a comparison. Like I said, there should be 2 more left after this. It should be 2012 and then 2013. So keep that in mind in the future, because that's when that'll all come out. I'm not going to hold you guys up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just go ahead and get into the situation. I expect things to be funny, hopefully. Hopefully we'll learn something, which is kind of the main point, and just kind of continue to further our knowledge in this DSP lore. For the person who was asking, who do I feel are the most knowledgeable individuals in the detractor community, there's too many people to name, to be honest, because you got to understand that there's a lot of people around who are old heads. So that's the best thing I could tell you. There's like, you know what I'm saying, like, it is what it is. The 3 people that I started off with, because remember, I've only been doing this since like late 2017, but the 3 people that I watched a lot of was Almighty Tevin, Argent, and Theo. Those would be the top 3 people I would recommend to you. Like I said, there are plenty more, to be perfectly honest, but those are the top 3 people that I would recommend to you. Then also, if you want to know about DSP lore, go to Detractor Twitter and go to the Kiwi Farms thread of DSP. And the first page, that someone has already created a post that basically chronologically basically lays out the time, the roadmap, if you will, or just the time frame of Phil over the years. It's a great place to start as well if that's something that you're looking into. And then your best bet, if you're looking for somebody a little bit more recent who has been around for a very long time but just recently started getting into detractor stuff, I would say Agent Proper of the DIA. He's been around since the beginning. You know what I mean? He only started doing the tractor stuff over the last couple of years, but he's been around since the very beginning, so he has a wealth of information too to go to. So those would be the 4 people. Like I said, there's more people though. There's way more people. Those are just the 4 people I can think off the top of my head that I would go to because I've watched a lot of their content. So just something to think about as it pertains to your lore. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I won't hold you guys up any longer. Let's go ahead and get into the situation at hand. This is the GOUT Report / Retort. And let's go ahead and get into the funnies. I'll see you guys in a second. Oh shit. I really gotta come up with something for that.
What's the number tryna call out? What about my team? Wood, shawty don't get logged out. Made by Bethesda, the only way we fall out. Morocco, you a mole. Find another hole to crawl out. Hey, I'm sick and swirl with the biggest girls. Lace is the case, get up. I'm thinking stripping, girl. Damn, how sounding cliche, right? Well, I flame out brain. I'm the PK type. Come and rest in my nest. I'ma bet that night. Metaphor, girl, you gon' get that pipe. Whoa, wrong song. I'm thinking about bum bum. Chicka, wow, wow. The calling of my sloan. The snapping of her thong. The rapping of this song. So tell you this boy's gifted, giving you my own. So, hey, now what's better than that?
What's going on, everyone? DSP here, and I've been getting a lot of requests recently. Hold on, I'm almost tripped on my shoes here. I've been getting a lot of requests recently to do another condo tour, since I have been decorating my condo over the past several months with gaming-related fare, and people have noticed, you know, different trophies, different statues and things kind of creeping up in my videos, in my channel updates, and people have been saying, well, you know, what does the condo look like since the last time we did one of these earlier this year? And so what I figured I would do is I would do another condo tour for you this time, and bear in mind that my place is going to be extremely messy. I didn't really clean up much for this, and there's kind of shit all over the place, as you're going to see. But, and also keep in mind I live alone. It's not like, you know, I need to clean up constantly or whatever. This is all just my place. So I understand that if, you know, more than one person were living here.
I was almost expecting him to be like, it's not like I have someone to clean up with me, or for me, or after me. Amazing stuff. Oh, just because you live alone, you can't clean up your own messes. Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with, let's see, we're here for the Darksydephil, or DSP's Condo Tour of August of 2011, parts 1 through 4. These were published on August 11th of 2011. I'll leave the links down in the description to the originals for those who would like to watch those. Here we go.
Kind of cramped because it is a small place. So anyway, here's the front door. Oh, delightful. Here's the front door, and this is actually a poster I picked up at Kineticon. It's the official movie poster of Ghostbusters, who you gonna call. I had it framed and put on the door there. You know, place to hang winter apparel like gloves and a scarf and stuff. Baseball cap, shoe thing down there to hold the shoes. A nice doormat with my sneakers on it. We've got the fuse box. We've got a non-working intercom. When these units were first put in here, I believe it was like the 1970s or early 80s when this unit was, or when this building was built, used to use this intercom. Now this doesn't work anymore. Now it actually goes through the phone system. And just to answer everyone's question, no, if you saw my videos from 2009 when I first moved in, oh, that's a good focus, huh? When I first moved in here in 2009, there was a hole in the wall right here because I had opened this door, or someone had opened this door. To my knowledge, it wasn't me, but someone had opened the door.
He almost didn't. He kind of admitted it. He kind of admitted it, like, you know, hey, I opened the door and I wasn't paying attention, and you know, I end up putting that doorknob through that wall, which is what most people suspected anyway. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
So hard, and there was no doorstop down there that it made a hole in the fucking wall, and we fixed that right away. It was one of the first things I fixed when I moved in, and we put the doorstop down there. So we're going to look at the kitchen, which you've seen many times if you watch my Cooking with the King videos, but some things have changed. I actually moved that Keystone Cops artwork that I got at the Too Many Games convention over here to the little, I guess, column or whatever you want to call it, the wall here going into the kitchen. As you head into the kitchen to the left, I've got a stand here with all kinds of stuff.
He doesn't have the liquor bottles down there now. Well, that was all trash though too, I think, in the last video. Yeah, because he had like 2 or 3 trash bags there. He had pizza boxes down there. He had like an empty Bacardi bottle, and I think it was Tanqueray. Well, looks like he straightened it up, and good for him.
And different air fresheners, different things for when it gets stinky in here, which it does because I'm a stinky guy. We've got, this is pretty cool. This is a Brita water bottle that has a filter built into it. You can see it inside there. And so what you do, like when I go to tournaments or I go to a convention, I bring that with me, and that way I can stop at any water fountain, fill it up, and the water tastes really good, and it's filtered out for, you know, all those particles and things that you don't really want. So that's pretty neat, and the filter lasts something like 8 months long, or something like 1,000 bottles of water, which I'll never use. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got a case of water underneath there. I got a case of balls.
I mean, if you're drinking 2 bottles of water a day, you'll go through that in like 3 years. But whatever, you'll never go through 1,000 bottles of it.
Energy drink cherry flavor, and I usually drink one of those when I'm I know I'm going to be doing a heavy duty playthrough. You know, it's something that's going to be lasting a long time. That's when I drink one of those. I don't necessarily always drink those. It's not something I drink every day. I'm not hooked on caffeine or anything like that. This shelf below is pretty
interesting. In the last Condo tour that you showed us, didn't he have caffeine gum, caffeine pills, like a caffeine pill covered in chocolate, I should say? Gum, the caffeine pills. He has something else too. He has some other thing up there too. Oh, the caffeine shots. But I'm not addicted to caffeine though. Okay, no problem.
Interesting. Basically, I stopped eating so much, as much as I used to. I used to eat like 3 full meals a day. Okay, they used to be giant meals.
Okay.
Oversized, and I realized for what I do for my lifestyle, I don't need to be doing that. So what I started doing, they sell different things. Now this is one of them. This is not, you know, and I'm not advertising for this company by any means, but it's a meal replacement nutrient shot. So what I usually do in the morning when I wake up, or sometimes I don't wake up in the morning, let's be honest. Sometimes I wake up in the afternoon, but when I wake up, you drink one of these suckers, and you drink something like 12 to 16 ounces of water, and it's got enough vitamin.
Why he wouldn't go back to working a regular 9 to 5. He likes the freedom of getting himself drunk at night and then waking up in the fucking mid-afternoon and shit. Which is probably one of the reasons why his schedule's round out the way it is now. And then going to the West Coast only kind of reinforced that later. But anyway, why don't you have those in the refrigerator, though? Like, you don't drink them warm, do you? I mean, I guess you can take an energy shot warm. It's no big deal, I suppose. But, like, you would think that the whatever an energy drink's on the top shelf, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Minerals in it to basically replace a serving of vegetables, a serving of fruit, and it's a really good idea if you're not someone who needs constant energy like me. I'm not doing a lot of physical activity. You don't need to have 3 full meals a day. So for at least 1 meal a day, I usually do something like this, and then I usually eat 1 major meal a day around midday to a little bit later on.
Now I want you to keep in mind the count of how many of those things in that box. So 4, 8, 12, so 24 comes in a box. He's only had 2. So he must have just started that. Or he's been sitting around for months and he just kind of grabs it whenever he remembers. Just saying. Same thing with the energy drinks up top. There's probably only like 1 or 2. There's only like 2 or 3 of those missing. Just throwing it out there.
Not too late, because if you eat too late, it actually turns to pure fat and goes right to your body if you're not burning the calories. But it's not something you want to do for all meals. Unfortunately, some people think that you can buy something like that and you can just drink it 3 meals a day, and that's very unhealthy. You should be eating real food, solid food. You shouldn't be drinking nutrient drinks all day. That's not good for you. But if you're going to do, like 1 for 1 meal a day, that's good. And actually, I don't know if a lot of people have mentioned that they've noticed that I've lost weight. This is a major reason why, because I'm not eating eggs and cereal in the morning, and then some kind of a lunch with meat or whatever, and then a major entree for dinner. No, I usually have 1 of these when I first get hungry during the day, and then I have 1 major meal a day, and I don't eat junk food, I don't snack or anything like that, and I've lost a lot of weight. I think I've started out over 240 pounds, to be completely honest, last year, and since I've been doing this for the past 2 or 3 months, I've dropped a significant amount of weight. And I feel great. I feel energetic. I feel way better. My back feels better because I have a bad back, and losing the weight, I feel a lot better. So, anyway, that was a long talk for that little bit.
Yet, don't hear any talk of any type of exercise at all. We're just going to starve ourselves, basically. Kind of, sort of. Well, let's not say starve. It's kind of just starving yourself, but alright, you're just going to cut back on how much you eat. But we're not going to actually move around, though. We're just going to cut back on what we eat. Alright, I guess you gotta start somewhere.
Down there we've got recyclables. I just put my recycling stuff down there. Wow, I'm sure you're interested in looking at my vacuum cleaners and trash can and an empty box that I got something in. Here's my gaming schedule, as you've seen in many of my schedule videos. This is up on the kitchen wall here. This is a calendar that you can buy at any local Staples. I think that's where I got it from. I think it's actually At a Glance is the name of the brand, but you can buy it at Staples or any other office store. This is a poster I got from samshi.com. I saw it at Kineticon, but I didn't have a chance to pick it up, so I got it at samshi.com and put it up there. I think it's really cool. My Hateful Truth clock, which the batteries died and it's completely at the wrong time. It's been like that for quite a long time. My fridge and all that. This is actually pretty cool. This is I don't know if I showed anyone this last time. This is a weather reader, and it's very hard to see, I guess, because of the lighting. But what it does, it connects to a satellite, and every day it tells you what the temperature is. So in a town near me, this isn't actually where I live, but the town of Bridgeport, which is near me in Connecticut, it's currently 76 degrees, and because of all the factors going on, it says that it really feels like 74 degrees. That's pretty neat, because that way I don't have to turn on the news or go outside to figure out, what the temperature is. You got microwave, you've seen the oven, you've seen all this. Again, if you've seen my Cooking with the King videos, you've seen all that.
From Bridgeport, though? I mean, just because he's from there doesn't mean he doesn't live there. I mean, I get it, but I mean, all right, whatever. It is what it is. Maybe he's obviously in the surrounding area because his parents have always owned that house, and he lives like 15 minutes away from them. So,
this is a Keurig, which they call K-Cups coffee maker.
Yes, the coffee maker, ladies and gentlemen. The coffee maker. The one that everybody likes, that Phil says everybody wants to point out or whatever. Here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. He says that this coffee maker right here, and the one, did he try to say that this one right here and the one that he has currently are the same one? Or did he say that I can't remember because he's lied about it so many goddamn times. The one that he currently has, he says that he bought that before they left to... I think he said he bought that before they left to Washington State. So he had two of them. And he just had one in the box. And they were just holding on to it until, they could actually use it because he had this one. Here's my first question. Where's this one at? What's wrong with this one? First off and foremost, and where is it? Why aren't you using this one? And he didn't have this in the first one, like the first 2011 walkthrough. I don't believe he had this because I think I would remember this roller here, and I don't remember that. So this wasn't here early on. And why would you buy two of these things? Whatever. Anyway, he gets mad that people bring up the fact that he spent like $500 for it or $300 or whatever it cost. I mean, who gives a shit? But yet again, why'd you have to buy two? And in all honesty, the coffee maker that he has currently, he didn't have that when he moved out there. They bought it when they were there. Because I remember somewhere along the lines. No, because they were. That might be his way out. Because they had to wait for all their shit to get delivered. They didn't get it all right away. He could theoretically use that as an out, saying that it was all packed up with all the rest of their stuff. And that's why we didn't see it in the initial walkthrough. That's me coming up with excuses for him, but it's better to cover your bases. Anyway, whatever. I'm sure if any of you guys have followed DSP for any period of time, you know what the coffee maker that he has, the original one, looks like. But this is what the newest one, I should say, when he moved to Washington looks like. But this is the old one. Like I said, I don't remember him saying that there's anything wrong with this, so I wonder what he did with it. Unless he gave it to his parents or something.
/tea maker, and I bought it, and I don't really use it that much. I bought it thinking, oh man, I'm gonna, I really like tea, and I miss coffee because I used to drink tea at my old job, for which I got laid off from, and I was like, wow, I'll use this all the time, and I almost never use it. It's pretty funny that I got it, and then ends up, it was an impulse buy. I went to the store, I said, oh man, I really like to have some of this, and then I got it, and then I don't use it, so. This is my...
I think I mentioned that in the last Condo video about how he's a consumer. He's just an out-and-out consumer, and it's all based off impulse buying. Not to say that all consumers are impulse buyers, but he is certainly very much an impulse buyer. But now, ladies and gentlemen, that makes me think he may still have this coffee maker or team, whatever. He may still have this, and he just put it away in the closet, and it's like in a box in a closet somewhere. Him and Panda may have actually used all this, or when Panda came into the picture, they may have gone through all the different teas and coffees here. But I think what happened was in later years, right before they moved, so basically prior to 2014, I think they saw a better model, and they were like, Panda was like, I'd really like to have that model instead, and that's what they went with. So, but yet again, like I said, what did he do with this? Did he give it to his parents? Did Phil put it back in the box and keep it as a backup? Who could say?
Mini bar, fully stocked with several different kinds of liquor. And
okay,
one day,
here we go. Let's take a look. So I see Tanqueray. I think I see Bacardi. Let's see what else. I see Patron. It might be special edition. Pretty decent selection. I guess. All right. I never took him for for Patron though. You got to be. Patron is. I thought Patron might be a little bit out of his league, but all right, fair enough. And look at that. If that is him, he's going through that shit like there's no tomorrow. He's drinking this shit like it's just water. God damn, Phil. And these are, ladies and gentlemen, let's also point this out. At least for some of these bottles here, these are not the 750 milliliter ones. These are the 1.75 milliliters that our boy fucking with. That's what the handles are, baby. That's what we at. That's where we at with this. Holy shit. Woo, boy. God damn.
if you are of legal age to drink, you can have this for yourself. Many of you might have this for yourself, but it is pretty cool. If friends ever stop by, like, hey, want a shot? And, you know, you can make mixed drinks, you can do whatever. Pretty neat.
Yeah, pretty neat, but you're definitely drinking the majority of that. Like, that shit up at the top, that makes me think that's for some of the guests and whatnot. But, yeah, some of this shit is what we're night capping with, or what we're drinking during the night for some of those late night playthroughs. For sure. I wonder why he turned the bottle. Well, he probably didn't do that on purpose. He probably just, when he grabbed it out of the cabinet, and then he put it back in the exact same way, or whatever. Whew. Jesus Christ, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I got a pretty nice bar, too, stocked up. But I don't usually go for the 1.5 liter ones. I don't need all that. Yeah, teach their own.
My disgusting sink, which I should probably wash at some point. You know, knives and shit. Nothing really interesting here at all. My beer stein, which people have seen many times. I guess I'll show you my counter here. This is this is the Robot Chicken humping robot, and he's humping 2 of the question mark blocks from Super Mario Brothers. And really what these are, they hold candy inside of them, and they're really hard to open, so I doubt I could do this with one hand. But the candy, oh, I almost got it. The candy actually looks like gold coins from Super Mario Brothers, which is pretty neat. That's why I got them. I thought it was a pretty cool piece of memorabilia. The candy itself smells awful, so I don't know if I'm ever going to try to taste it. We have here a model of, well, I am having a brain fart that I can't remember this guy's fucking name, so I apologize. But obviously from Gears of War, and below him is Dead Fred, who is supposed to be a pen holder, but I can't put my pens in here because I don't use regular pens. I use ones with this that needle tip, and when you put it in there, it actually leaks inside, so it's pretty much completely pointless. I can't use it. So what I did was I decided to make it part of the layout here of this model, so it looks like he killed them, which is pretty cool. Here we got all kinds of odds and ends. First of all, I don't even chew gum, but at one point I bought a energy candy pack from thinkgeek.com, and it came with all this energy gum, so it's just been sitting here because I don't chew gum. But here I've got all kinds of...
Why didn't you give it away, or just, you know, like offer it to somebody? And that right there, you're seeing. I can actually name some of this shit out. This wallet you see here, that's the one that's made out of duct tape. He showed that off in the last one. Let's see, this right here, these little, they look like batteries. That's the caffeine pill things I told you about. Caffeine candies that are covered with chocolate. He loves those damn things, because I think the last time he only had like 1 of those up here, and 6 months later we got 5. God damn, dude. And like I said, just give the gum away if you're not gonna eat it.
cards and contact information from all the different vendors and people that I've seen at conventions that I've gone to this year. I got my passport. My wallet is made of duct tape. It's called a Ducty wallet. It's the best wallet I've ever had in my entire life because unlike other wallets, even if you jam pack it full of stuff, it conforms to your stuff. So it actually fits in your pocket, which I love. Here's all kinds of Blistex that I got during the winter because I had really bad chapped lips. Down here underneath the Blistex, I have 2 tokens from Chinatown Fair, the famous arcade in New York City in Chinatown that has now been closed down and is defunct, and therefore those are like kind of collector's items, really. Anyone who has them, it's basically you're the last people who have them because if you kept them, that's it. You're never going to get any more.
A lot of the old heads there probably still have them and whatnot because, you know what I'm saying, like, I've heard videos and seen stories of like Sanford Kelly and like IFC Yipes. What's that guy's name? They name him after the bionic punch shit he did. That ended up on World Star. Noel Brown. Those guys say they have fucking jars in their homes full of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, every time you said when you go out to the arcade, or at least the way they were describing it, you know, you don't, oh, hey, man, let's go and hit the arcade. You're not thinking about running home and grabbing whatever tokens you have and then going out there. You just grab more tokens when you get there. You know what I'm saying? Or it is what it is and shit. So, he's not the only one. It's not like it's super rare. There's a bunch of those people who have that shit. And anybody who's ever been to an arcade and they have the token system like that, more than likely you do. I've got fucking tokens from a bunch of different arcades I was fortunate to go enough to. So it is what it is.
You got my keys. This is actually a pen that can write in any condition. It could write upside down. It can write underwater. And it's a really portable pen, so that's pretty cool. And this is a watch, and I don't know if anyone's ever seen this watch. I don't know if I've ever shown it before. I like it because if I can get the fucking case open, holy shit, it's really jammed together there. Hold on. What the hell? Ugh. There we go. The company's name is Rosenthal Watches, and it's, as you can see, it's a digital readout. It's the most basic watch you can ever have, but I like it. It's stylish. It's simple. It's got a rubber wristband. So during the summer, it's not very good, but during the winter, it's pretty neat. It's pretty stylish, so I like that. And that's my wristwatch, but I usually don't carry it too much. Like I said, in the winter, it's a cool thing to have, but in the summer, usually I just rely on my cell phone because the rubber is annoying. Alright, so I guess we should split this here, and then in the next part, we'll continue around the bend here on my bar. As you see, this used to be a nice empty bar, and now it's completely covered in shit. So, alright, so we'll be right back. Alright, so continuing on here, we'll go around the bend of the bar, and we have bar stools here at the bar, with shit all over them over there. But anyway, we got my Leonardo statue from Ninja Turtles, and some people ask, gee, Phil, why does he have a red headband on? That's because the original Ninja Turtles all had red headbands on. They didn't have different colors. That was actually made up for the cartoon because they wanted a way to discern between the 4 turtles because they all looked the same. So that's original Leonardo from Ninja Turtles, the comic. There's my water bottle. This is pretty interesting. It's candy. What it is it's a fake coffee bean, but really it's coffee, pieces of coffee beans mixed in with chocolate. So it's pretty good. It's very highly caffeinated. Take a couple of those, you'll get a nice shot. Here's another plug for Sanchi.com. They gave me so many goddamn business cards. I just leave them here. This is the Lego artwork made by what's his name, Block Sprites, which I believe is, if you go to www.etsy.com/shop/XELZOR, that's where you can find more of these. That's the guy that I met at the Too Many Games Gaming Convention. Made that for me. This is a statue of a Heavy from Team Fortress 2. This is the blue edition. They also have a red edition. And I believe that you can get that at GameFreaks.com, I believe is where I got that from. This is my Cole McGrath mini statue from the collector's edition of Infamous 2. This is my Duke Nukem mini bust from the collector's edition of Duke Nukem Forever. This is a very cool light-up statue of War and Ruin, his horse, from Darksiders. And the funny story, this statue originally was advertised when you bought Darksiders in January of 2010, and there was a coupon inside for 15% off if you pre-ordered. So I pre-ordered the damn thing. It didn't come out until, I'm not even kidding you, last week. So it took over a year and a half for them to sculpt and complete this sculpture, and that's why it's kind of weird that, now it's out, but I think it's fucking amazing. The glowing and everything, it looks really dope. So next we have Peanuts. Isn't that thrilling? And phone books, The Rock, an American flag, spare changes over there in that Bailey's container. We got my Guile statue sitting there. In front on these bar stools, we got various bags that I take to tournaments. This one actually has my dual mod joystick inside of it and some other odds and ends inside of it. I think there's a copy of Marvel 3 in there and stuff from my camera. This is my bag of holding. It's a really cool satchel bag, messenger bag that I got from thinkgeek.com. Behind there is a low pro messenger bag that I used to bring me to work at my old job. I used to bring my laptop in it. Behind there, just a bunch of DVD racks with DVDs in them. Down there is my collector's edition Infamous 2 messenger bag, which is the replica of the bag that Cole actually has in the game. And just various shit on the floor down there, bags for my tripod and stuff. There's my tripod. Up here, this is a poster from Level Up.
It seems like it's a lot cleaner, at least so far, in this one, despite the fact that he's acquired more shit. Oh, it's a DSP-ism.
Studios.com, and it is a cool poster of Mario, but instead of Mario, you've got all words inside of it that make up, to kind of describe him, gorilla chaser, turtle shells, super something something, hero on his mustache, so all kinds of stuff. That's a really neat poster. Here we have my Hulk sculpture, which many of you have seen before, and it's gigantic. It's Hulk coming out of the sky, smashing down, and there's the actual concept art that was made into the Hulk sculpture. It's up there. Also, here we have an electronic picture frame where I have my pictures of my family and such in there. Here is where I keep my PlayStation Sharpshooter, which is a worthless piece of shit that I will probably never use again for another game. The Sharpshooter, that is. I probably will use the PS Move for other games. There's actually the House of the Dead game that came out for Wii is being remade for PlayStation Move later this year, and I'll probably use the PS Move for that. Underneath it is the wireless Tekken 6 joystick that I won at the Too Many Games Gaming Convention for winning the Marvel 3 tournament, and it's just sitting there because, as you know, wireless joysticks lag, so there's no reason for me to ever use it. It's just kind of sitting there, and maybe one day I'll give it away. Maybe that'll be a giveaway that I do or something. My couch.
I wonder if he'll ever sell that damn thing. I wonder if he'll ever sell it, or whatever. He's never going to give it away, so, I mean, if he still has it, I assume that it'd be willing to sell it. I wonder what he would want for that.
Filming right there. Above the couch, as you've seen in some of the weekend preview videos and such, and the Hateful Truth videos, are the two pieces of artwork that I got at the Too Many Games Gaming Convention. This one's by the Square Painter. And this one is, I forget, this is the same woman who painted the Keystone Capers artwork, painted this, and I forget, I think her last name's Dingman, but I forget what her first name is. Check out the Too Many Games acquisitions video for information on how to get artwork like that from her. I guess before we move on, I might as well show you my coffee table here, which is completely messy right now. We got a keyboard from when I was doing stuff on the PC. We've got various game controllers. We've got my cell phone blinking because I have a message. Controllers all over the place, a bottle of water, a couple of various games and Blu-ray movies strewn about. And I've shown you this 3 times before, but for those who have not been a subscriber of mine or a viewer of mine back then, this is one of the coolest tables ever made because it actually lifts up and has storage underneath where I have all kinds of gaming related peripherals and such in there, and it lifts it up so for when I do, if I'm going to eat, I can eat on the table there on the couch, or this is how I actually record PC gaming because I have the keyboard and mouse right in front of me and I have a mini tripod that I put there. So when I record, all I do is I put a tripod on this table and I point the camera straight at my TV, which we'll look at in a little bit, okay? Oh, moving on. Over here, this is like the junk table. I've got so much stuff on this table. I've got a wireless mouse, the mini tripod that I use when I record PC gaming. By the way, I do have surround sound speakers on the sides of the couch here, just to show you how I get my sound. a nice IKEA catalog, a nice IKEA plug. But under there is my Alienware laptop, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 strategy guide, which I haven't read since the week the game came out, so it's completely worthless. My
It's not
Halo
worthless. It's just you're useless. It's not worthless. He never. You bought it. I'm sure he bought it because at GameStop you probably could get it for like 30% off or some shit back in those days, I guess. And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I might use it. And then he probably looked at basically how the layout for combos were, and he was like, yeah, no. And the story. It's not worthless. If that's worthless, then that means all the books that he has in his bedroom are worthless. And all those strategy guides, too. Right? Right? Right.
Wireless headset, my Nintendo DS, which is currently still on. This is obviously the She-Hulk, a cool She-Hulk model sitting here. And my flashlight, so if the power goes out, I run over here and I have a heavy-duty flashlight. Behind there, I would really like to show this to you guys because it's a really nice poster. And this is a poster you can get at levelupstudios.com. And what it is, it's a sexy poster of Zelda, Princess Peach, and way down there is Samus. I had this hanging on my wall until about 2 hours ago, and I'm not kidding you. The paint on my fucking wall, apparently it's so hot here, okay? The adhesive for one of the things that I used to hang it, all the rest of them are perfectly fine.
What the fuck?
For whatever
Why didn't you just... Okay, wait. What? Why don't you just... Why didn't you just go ahead and put a nail into the wall and then just use the hook that's on the back of it and place it up there? I mean, it's possible that maybe there isn't one. I mean, he could attach one. What? Whatever. I mean, okay. Maybe there's some type of conditions to where he can't put holes in his wall. I guess I don't know. But adhesive tape. I guess whatever. Whatever.
reason, the adhesive of this one seeped into the paint, and the paint ripped off the wall, so the painting fell down. Well, not the painting, the poster fell down. So I need to put a new one up, probably above it, and then remount that to my wall. Problem being, though, is that my shoulder's killing me. Right now I actually have a heating pad on my shoulder as I do this because that injury that I had back in February, the one that I talked about when I went to Winter Brawl, which is the reason I didn't play any games at Winter Brawl. For whatever reason, it's coming back. I pinched my nerve again in my neck, I guess. I didn't do anything to do it. It just happened. And it kind of happened in my sleep because I woke up and all of a sudden it hurt. So I'm kind of resting my...
I think I remember this story. So I think he's at Winter Brawl, or he was wherever. He had a pain in his thumb. Well, I guess the pain ran down his arm, to be honest with you. But he had this pain in his thumb, so he couldn't compete, right? Or in his hands. It was either his thumb or his hands. And he couldn't compete in the tournament, right? So he had the pull out. So then he goes upstairs, and then he does... I guess he does playthroughs for YouTube or whatever. He didn't actually stay down there and actually watch all of the tournament. He ended up going up to his room and actually playing games up there. And the first thing that came to mind was, okay, you're saying that your hand hurts, right? And that's why you can't compete in this tournament. But you're okay with going upstairs and gaming? Like, don't get me wrong, the intensity level is different when you're playing a competitive fighting game and then you playing something casual, whatever the game was that he's playing. But at the same time, it's like, why weren't you resting then? Or why don't you have like an ice pack on or some shit like that? You left a gaming tournament playing video games to go up to your room to play video games. I don't know. I'm not trying to say it's a bitch move that he ain't sat there and made excuses for his losses, but just whatever. Whatever.
Shoulder right now with this heating pad, so unfortunately I'm not putting that painting up, or that painting, he's saying painting. I'm not putting that poster up anytime soon. I have to put it up when I feel a little bit better. And look at this mess down here. Look at this. This is a fire hazard waiting to happen, but it's been like this for 1.5 years and haven't had any problems. It's just a whole bunch of cords going into this fucking surge protector, and it's the power cord from my laptop, the power cord from my DS, the power cord for my camera, the power cord for my cell phone, the power cord for the lamp. It's a horrid mess, and I need to clean it up. It's also the power cord for that headset, the wireless headset. Yeah, so here's another chair, whoop-de-doo. Behind there, a bunch of DVDs. Back here we've got, this is an interesting story, a bunch of boxes from all of the joysticks that I have acquired over the years, and I don't necessarily still have all these joysticks, but these are some of the boxes from them. Here's a promotional box from Marvel.
Are you going to do a giveaway for the boxes as well? And yeah, you might want to do something about that fire trap that you have there with all those plugs and cables and shit. I'm sure people in the comment section said so. Yet again, what is his deal with holding on to these boxes if the controllers are sold or they're broken or whatever the case may be? What the fuck are you doing keeping the box for? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, legit hoarding.
Ultimate Alliance 2 that was stolen from GameStop by a GameStop employee. And no, it wasn't John Rambo, but I won't mention who it was. In the corner, there's a fan that I purchased quite a while ago
John
to put on my
GameStop? I thought John had... No, that was Too Many... No, not Too Many Games. What was the name of that place? They had a Street Fighter... I think they had like a Super Street Fighter 4 tournament there. Him, John, and Howard went. And some DSP fans actually met him out there. Like, I think they drove like 2 hours out there to go and see Phil and whatnot. That was wild. But anyway, I don't know if it was Plug and Play. I can't remember what the name of the place was, but John had friends there, and so he used to record some stuff for his channel over there, testing out games and stuff. I didn't know John used to work at GameStop.
Here in my living room because I don't have a fan, but we called 3 electricians trying to get them in here, and they never returned my call. So apparently electricians don't think that installing a fan is a big enough job to even give me the time of day, which is kind of fucked up. I even have another...
What about the fan that's in your bedroom that your mother bought you that you said was useless? Why don't you just go ahead and plug in that one in the living room? Oh well, semantics.
Range top for my stove right there. It's a better one than the one that I have over there, which is very basic. And I can't get an electrician in here to do the work for me, so I don't know what's going on with that. We got throw pillows. We've got...
You should shout them out on your YouTube channel. That'll help bring in more business, right? Just like how you did for your movers. Just in case you guys don't know the lore, when when DSP and Panda moved to the West Coast, excuse me, Phil needed his bed to be put together. And Phil and Panda didn't know how to do it, or they didn't want to do it, or whatever. So they asked the movers if they would put his bed together for him, and if they did, he would shout out their moving company because he was a big YouTuber, and that would kind of help drum in some business. And they probably looked at him and were like, "I mean, if you need us to put it together, we will. So whatever. But all right, sure." So they did so. Now here's the crazy part. Later on, Phil said that when they hired the moving company that picked up the pod and then brought the pod all the way to Washington, and then they actually they brought everything in for him. He said that they were actually paid to do all those things, to do all the assembly, assemble all of their stuff and place things where they want to, and all this, that, and the third. But then, where did the story come from about you offering to shout out the moving company if they would put your bed together for you when you already paid them to do so? Just something to think about. Jesus Christ.
An Xbox 360 in a bag. We've got a joystick randomly out there. We've got the box from my gaming PC just sitting here. I don't want to throw it out because I know that if I remove the PC, I need this box with the packing to move it, but I have nowhere to put it because it's so gigantic. We've got the box from my projector. The projector that I bought specifically to bring with me to Too Many Games to do the gaming panel. And then it never happened because we sat in 10 hours of traffic, which we didn't expect. And so I have a projector that I've never used, and it's sitting in my closet. And this is the box from it. Isn't that an exciting story? A couple other things here before we split the video. I can't talk too much about this yet. Some of you might recognize what this is. Okay? But basically, I was sent this, and I was sent a product to review it by a website.
I thought Phil, you were sent arcade sticks, and yet he cries now about how he can't get sponsorship, he can't do this, he can't do that. Idiot, you built DSPGaming, ladies and gentlemen, was built off of Street Fighter. It was definitely built off Street Fighter 4, for sure. especially when the supposed negotiation happened between him and Machinima, and they were going to offer him less money for DSP Street Fighter. So he was like, well, what do I need DSP Street Fighter for? Then if you guys are going to offer me less money, I'll just put everything on my DSP Gaming channel, which was the worst decision he made because he just flooded the channel with fucking 3-minute videos of matches. But whatever. But this guy, this idiot, legit had... He could have done endorsements for this company here that you're seeing right now, for Mad Cat, for Hori. He could have done a bunch of product reviews and built long-lasting relationships to help bridge the gap between YouTube and the FGC, and he didn't do it. Because this idiot was still mad over some dumb shit that happened, what was this, 2011? For some dumb shit that happened like 7 or 8 years prior. Because he felt like the West Coast boys screwed him out of all of his evil opportunities. As well as whatever resentment he had for the FGC. What a fucking idiot, man. Jesus Christ. I think he may have had some of these opportunities before Maximilian did. And he still figured out a way to fuck it up. Jesus Christ, dude. Alright, whatever. I didn't know about that. I did not know he was doing product reviews for fight sticks. Holy shit, man.
And it doesn't work. It's dead out of the box, and it's a new product, so it's very disappointing, and they're going to send me a replacement. So I don't want to talk about that until we get a replacement and I can do an official review video. This is just a box.
You don't think saying that they sent me a product to review and you saying that it was dead outside the box doesn't fucking hurt the brand? Why didn't you just not say anything? Oh my god, Phil. Oh my god, you're fucking retarded. Oh my god, he's retarded. Alright, so... Oh my god. Why did you say that? Why the fuck did you say that? You got sent an item to review. You don't want to talk about it yet. And you should have been like, yeah, that might be something to come out in the future and just let it go. Instead, you proceed to talk about how, oh, I couldn't do the product review because the fucking item doesn't work out the box. It was dead outside of the... It was dead coming right outside of the box. So I can't do anything with it right now. I have to wait till they send me a replacement. You don't think that doesn't hurt their reputation just a little bit as amongst his fan base, I should say, or his viewership, by saying that a brand new arcade stick coming from this company, the first one they sent you, was dead outside the box? Or right out of the box? Oh my god. And you're supposed to have a business degree? So what the fuck? You'd be mad as shit if the helicopter company that you worked for, well, you used to work for, if they said that you sent them defected parts, or if your company, I should say, if the company sent them defected parts, whoever it is, they would be mad as fuck that they publicly disclosed that. And yet you would do the exact same damn thing. Oh my god. Alright, let's move on. Let's move on, because then I'm just going to get into a rant.
Odds and ends parts of joysticks, all kinds of stuff, colored bezels and shit are in there, left over from when we were building joysticks, and we will look to do that eventually again. This, unfortunately, is a sad story, and this is where I'll split the video right after I explain this. Down here you've got 2 Wii joysticks that we never modded, that we will be modding them at some point. This box has more parts in it, but this, now if you remember, during my Mega Man Marathon, I didn't have Mega Man 5, okay? I did a Mega Man Marathon where the whole week all I did was play Mega Man games. And so I needed Mega Man 5. I didn't have it for the NES. And so a fan apparently went out of their way to buy the game for me. But unfortunately, the game got here too late. I had already gotten it from somewhere else. And so the game shows up in my P.O. box. Where do you see this, okay? Look at this. It's completely destroyed. The idiot...
Oh, shit. God damn, look at that, man. That's what? That's fucking gnarly. Oh, wow. That blows. God damn.
Who sold this to my fan, and then, subsequently shipped it to me, shipped it in a fucking envelope with no packing whatsoever. So he thought that it was going to get here in one piece in this flimsy fucking USPS envelope, and the thing got completely destroyed. Like, I wouldn't plug this into my... Look at this, it's hanging off. I wouldn't put this in my NES. I'd be afraid it would damage it. And it's unfortunate. Listen, you can even hear... You can hear things moving around inside of it. It's unfortunate because this game is rare. I would have loved to give this away to a fan, but I'm not going to do it now. It's completely fucking destroyed. So I told that fan who had bought this for me, I said, listen, contact whoever the hell you got this from. Tell them they're an asshole. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're unprofessional and unbusinesslike that they're trying to ship an NES game in a fucking flimsy cardboard envelope, and they don't think that it's going to get crushed on the way here, and you want a full refund because the product is destroyed. So we'll see what happens with that, and hopefully the kid gets his money back, because I feel real bad about that. Now keep in mind, I never asked him to buy it for me. I never asked anyone to buy it for me. He went out of his way and tried to do a nice thing and be a good Samaritan and donate the game so that I could finish my Mega Man Marathon, and look what happens. Look what he gets for his goodwill. So I did send him a message on my website, thekingofhate.com. Hopefully he'll get it and he'll be able to get his money back for this, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens. This is why I don't buy things on eBay or Amazon that aren't from like a licensed business. I don't buy from individuals because you can get fucked like this, and there's really nothing you can do. I mean, he spent under $100.
Yeah, but that's like that with anything. I've ordered stuff through reputable people through Amazon, and I didn't get what I ordered. You know what I'm saying? It's no big deal. I mean, it happens at the end of the day. But yikes! That does suck though. That blows. Fucking A. That was gnarly. Goddamn. I've never seen I've never seen anybody do that to a Nintendo cartridge like that. Jesus Christ.
Amazon ain't gonna give a fuck. Amazon's gonna say, well, just leave negative feedback. Tough shit. So I feel kind of bad that happened, but that's life. Alright, so we will come back with another part, and I will continue on with the tour. Okay, so enough of that fiasco. Here we have my AC, which is pumping on maximum. So bear with the loud noise. We've got an inflatable Dragon Age Origins sword, even though I never played Dragon Age Origins. I got that from someone who worked at GameStop as well. And there is that Red Faction Gorilla walker. I still have it right there. This is the lamp that I use for most of my filming. Any lighting that you see in most of my videos is this lamp with 5 100-watt bulbs. Here on the lamp we have a Hawaiian lei from a party that my aunts had last summer, and on here we have various things from different conventions and events that I've attended. We've got New York Comic Con last year right there. We've got Kineticon right there with the now famous button that I got from the mystery bag, which I wore during the tournament and won the whole got second place in 2 tournaments at Kineticon. And this is the badge from Final Round that I attended, a fighting game tournament. Up here we have a poster. I know it's hard to see with the lighting, but it's a poster of Street Fighter, and it features the entire cast of Street Fighter 2 up until Super Turbo. So everyone's on there, including Akuma. Pretty neat poster. I got that at Kineticon. Here we've got my audio-visual layout, and what you have here is left surround sound speaker with a mini figurine of Scarlet Witch on top. You've got my 55-inch TV. You've got the Kinect and the PSI on it, and on the right you have your other surround sound speaker with a figurine of Psylocke on top. On top of the TV you have the 8-bit artwork creations that I got from Too Many Games of Mega Man and Proto Man, battling it out, which is pretty neat. Down here you've got the middle surround speaker. You've got the Microsoft Wii motion bar on top of it. To the left you've got a souvenir that John Rambo brought me back from Japan last year. It's a boss monster from Final Fantasy. On the right you've got an Alex Mercer doll that has fallen on his ass. He's fallen and he can't get up, so someone fucking call 911 to help his ass. And then down here you've got all my gaming setups. You got my cable box, a PlayStation 2 right there. Below that is my Xbox 360. Here you've got the PlayStation 3. My Microsoft Wii, and this is my receiver, which is very hard to see, but that's the receiver that the audio goes through for everything that goes to my surround sound system. To the right of all this you have the subwoofer, you've got my router on top of it, Cisco router. Here we have my primary computer setup. Here's my computer chair, which has 2 memory foam cushions on it to help me out with my back, because as you know, my back's all fucked up, and so I need something. I can't just sit on this chair. I need to have something to help me with my back. There's my primary monitor, which many of you have seen many times. All kinds of random shit just lying around down there. But there's my cable modem, my industrial strength Aris cable modem, right there. My phone, some speakers. We've got an external hard drive, random shit, keyboard, mouse with the Hateful Truth mouse pad under it. And then down below, there's my gaming PC, built by Chris and Teo, the administrators and webmasters of thekingofhate.com. Down here you have 6 external hard drives where all of my videos have been stored. Yeah, I know, it's kind of lazy that I just leave them there. And there's the subwoofer for my computer speakers right there. Moving to the right, we got a trash can, and then we have my bookcase here, which has lots of stuff. Up top, if you've seen my previous tour video, you've seen this already, but you've got several models from the Marvel Universe. You've got Mephisto, you've got Lady Death, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, you've got Super Skrull, and behind them you've got a Tribute to Marvel book, which I've had since I was a kid. And you've got a Darkstalkers tribute and a Mega Man artwork book behind them. This shelf is pretty much dedicated to Street Fighter. You've got some cast of Third Strike, Necro, and Alex right there. You've got a Blanca statue in the middle. You've got a Sagat and Chun-Li action figure to the right. Behind them you have respective art books of Street Fighter. And then here you've got, these are pretty much antiques at this point. Street Fighter 2, when it was new, had a line of keychains that were released exclusively in US arcades. And these are those keychains, and I have all 8 of the original World Warriors. Pretty neat. Pretty hard to find a complete set, too. That's the other thing. You can probably find a couple of these. Good luck finding a complete set. Down here on this shelf, we've got some more art books, Darkstalker.
Beside your industrial strength router, that's cute, and your little miniature shrine to Street Fighter, you want to tell them how you actually got those little keychains and whatnot? He said that he ended up getting 4 of them, but supposedly T. Carter was the one who gave him the other 4. I guess we didn't feel the need to mention him in this one.
More Capcom Mega Man X art book, the History of Street Fighter book. We've got 2 action figures of Blanca. We've got Charlie on one side and Remy on the other, so the 2 GOUT wannabes are dueling it out. And then here we've got some Simpsons minifigurines.
What are you talking about? Because theoretically, if you go by the actual story, Nash is the one who taught Guile how to do Sonic Boom and Flash Kick in the first place. Just saying. I mean, you know, if we want to go by Street Fighter lore, you know.
By a fan. Those are there.
As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, the Sonic Boom is actually meant to be done with only one arm, and Guile hasn't been able to do that yet. He hasn't gotten there. Even though he is doing it with both arms is certainly much more powerful and whatnot, Charlie can also, there's more versatility with doing it with one arm. But whatever, semantics.
Shelf is primarily for collector's edition boxes. We've got the Fallout Collector's Edition. There's a bunch of them behind there. The OnLive game system. Here's a hard drive that I bought for my PlayStation 3 that I'm going to need to install file eventually because I'm pretty much out of room, you know. And then here is my classic gaming shelf, and this has changed significantly since the last time anyone's seen it, primarily because of the addition of several NES games. I found some really good gems like Blaster Master, Strider, Star Tropics, Dragon Warrior 1, Mega Man 1 through 6, as you know, because I did the Mega Marathon. But we've got...
Wait, you got an original copy of Street Fighter 2? Why the fuck... First off, why isn't it on the Street Fighter shelf shrine shelf? Why isn't that up there? But damn, you got an original... Is it unopened? If he has an original copy of Street Fighter 2 unopened, he's... Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, and Super Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 unopened. If he has any of those, that's worth quite a bit. That's worth quite a bit.
Tyson's Punch-Out!, which I have now added to the mix. And a couple others. Batman. I actually have Batman for the NES, which is one of the best NES games ever made, but also extremely hard. I've got all kinds of digital pictures games for the Sega CD. I got all kinds of new Sega CD games. I don't want to show you too much because I plan on doing some of those in the future, and I don't want to spoil the surprise, but all kinds of classic gaming stuff here. And then the bottom shelf is a bunch of DVDs and more boxes like the Connect box, the Epic Mickey box, some stuff for my camera, all kinds of odds and ends there. Here we've got a bunch of more DVDs. Most of these are Blu-rays, although these down here are regular DVDs. And we've also got, I'm sorry, it's getting late, getting a little tired, but we've also got lots of games that I saved from the Xbox 360. We've got all these games that I still own for the PlayStation 3. Down there, more Blu-rays. Here we got more games just mixed in there.
I wonder, when Panda left him and Cat moved in, and remember how he said he had to hawk all of those DVDs? He said it was about, there might have been like 100 of them, 200 of them, whatever it was that he hawked. I wonder if he ended up having to sell any of his old games. The obvious answer is no. He just decided to get rid of the DVDs. But the games might have fetched more money. But whatever.
2 copies of Duke Nukem that I own. The 10 Commandments Collector's Edition, which I got for all of $30, even though in the stores it sells for $100, which is pretty funny. And an entire other rack of Blu-ray DVDs. Now, what I'm going to show you now, you've never seen before. This is, I'm going to try to get back up a little bit here to show you more of it. This is a poster that I received at Kineticon for buying so many shirts from the guys at LevelUpStudios.com. It's a custom poster called Cause of Death, and what it is, it's the history of Mario and the different ways that he's died in various Mario games. So you got Lava Pool, Thwomp, Piranha Plant, Dark Matter, Poison Swamp. I mean, every way that he's died in a Mario game is pretty much on this poster. It's pretty dope. And this poster you can get at LevelUpStudios.com, so go over there and check it out. I really like that poster. I think it's really neat that they sent that to me. So,
I would definitely be interested in seeing a much more updated version, like a 2020, like a 2020 version of that poster. That'd be kind of dope, I think. But yeah, that's a pretty, nice acquiring, especially since he's bought in so many shirts. They said which is the reason why they sent it to him. I don't even think companies do stuff like that anymore.
Right. The last thing I'll show you, I guess, before we move on to another room is that on the doors of my rooms here, I do have posters. We've got Mario from, current Mario games, I would say here. And then here we've got the poster of Cole McGrath that I got when I bought Infamous 2 at GameStop. They gave me this Cole McGrath poster, which is pretty neat. So, alright. When we come back, I'll be checking out the bedroom, and that's where all the non-existent action happens, so you're going to want to check it out. Alright, so before we head into the bedroom, there's something I completely forgot.
Only a couple years later, only if he knew how true that statement was. Only if he knew how true that statement was.
That I do want to show everyone. Above the computer that I use here in the living room, I have now the Duke Nukem Forever official poster, and I completely forgot, probably because I was looking at everything down here at the computer. I didn't bother to look up and say, oh yeah, I also got that at the Kineticon convention that I went to. Okay, so moving on into the bedroom. First thing we have here, we're going to look at the artwork, I guess, first. We've got a custom artwork made by, she is on YouTube and she's known as Just Marcy, but she goes by Booby Painter. That's actually her nickname. This artwork is actually painted completely with her breasts, and it's custom artwork that she makes, and she does all kinds of different paintings and such. And I was actually thinking, this is so nice, it's so artistic looking, that if I do get an office next year, like I had talked about doing, that I may actually commission her to do a couple more paintings for the office. I thought that would be pretty cool. Down here...
yes. And actually, when I say, yes, you're probably thinking about me referring to that booby poster. Canvas art. I'm actually not. I'm actually referring to this dude, was actually wanting to rent out office space, right? So he could conduct his air quotes work. I've been looking forward to that. But I didn't think I was going to hear about that until 2012 or 2013. I didn't know he was thinking about that as early as 2011. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now this is funny. Because remember the mythos, ladies and gentlemen, about how I'm a one-man band, one-man show. I don't have huge production companies. I don't have a bunch of people to come and help me and whatnot, make content and all that. I don't have those advantages. He certainly looked like he was willing to put himself in position to do so. Wasn't he? Or did he do Project 7 by himself? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Oh, that bridge when we get there. But that's going to be funny.
Got what are called wall graphics, and what these are they kind of look like giant color forms, but of course most people have no idea what color forms are these days. I'm showing my age, but basically they're like these plastic things that they stick to the wall, and so you could have Mario, all of a sudden a giant Mario right here on my wall just stuck there, and it comes right off. It's not like it's sticky or anything and it leaves glue on your wall. And I got all these, and then I realized, wait a minute, you know, maybe it's for my condo it's a little bit better to have like art like this hanging, you know what I mean? I think it looks a little bit more classy to have that kind of stuff hanging rather than this all over the wall. And so I have these, and what I'm thinking again is if I get that office next year like I'd like to do, I might use this to decorate the office. Like imagine going into the first room of an office building, like the waiting room, and on the wall you see a huge scene from Donkey Kong played out. You're like, what the fuck? Isn't that crazy? And you go inside and the walls of the office have like Mario and stuff going crazy on them. That's what I'm actually looking to do. So
actually, Phil, especially if you've ever been to a game studio, you got invited to one once, but you didn't go. Maybe when they first walk into your office space, they should have, I don't know, oh, sorry. Oh, I couldn't say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. Maybe they should have like, maybe there should be some type of sign that says, I'm sorry, you say it. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm ready. Maybe there should be like a sign or something that says like Brunel Enterprises or Brunel Productions or Brunel Incorporated. Oh shit. I'm such an ass. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm such an asshole. But maybe you should have something like Brunel Productions or Brunel Enterprises or Brunel LLC or Incorporated or whatever. Maybe that should be the first thing they see walking into your office space. And then, as they're going down the corridors and whatnot, depending on how big this office space is, of course, then maybe you can have, you know, those things up about different gaming paraphernalia or whatever. Just saying, you want to give, yes, you do gaming here, you're about games or whatever the case may be, but also you want it to have a level of practicality to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when, like, for example, when like UPS, FedEx, or whoever it is that delivers packages out there, when they pull up, maybe seeing that official sign first on the wall, you know, coming out, you know, kind of, maybe that right there is probably the better thing to see from a visual standpoint. Perception is everything. And then as they go around the corridors, like, oh, okay, that's kind of wild, or oh, that's kind of kooky, or that's kind of cool. And you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you should do that. Maybe it's a good thing that office didn't work out for you. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as early as August of 2011, he was talking about renting an office space so he could play video games. Maybe that's what Brunel Enterprises comes from. Oh, shit.
So anyway, moving on, we've got two shirts here. These shirts were actually donated by a website, focusattack.com. And these are Crazy Buffalo. This is the logo that is on Balrog, the boxer's stuff in Street Fighter 4.
focusattack.com still exists because I purchased some IFC Yipes paraphernalia from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the curly mustache and so on and so forth. Like some, you know, the stuff that has IFC Yipes icon essentially. It's the Magneto helmet with the Pringles mustache. That's just godlike. I think they're still around. I think that still exists. But wow, yet again, all these he was there literally at the ground floor for all these different FGC companies, like as they were coming up, and did not a goddamn thing with any of it at all. He doesn't have to have them make him Darksydephil shirts or anything like that. That's stupid anyway. But he could have run through them some type of endorsement deal, some type of sponsorships or whatever, being that he's on camera anyway. Oh my god. So many wasted opportunities.
And yeah, those are pretty cool t-shirts that you'll probably see me wearing soon in a video. This is my cowboy hat. This is what it's kept in, this Stetson box. And below there you have a file cabinet with all kinds of my personal files and such inside. Up top we've got some stuff that we've already looked at before, but it's worth another look if you haven't seen the previous Condo tours. This is my ACE certification, and what this is at my previous employer, I was put through a rigorous training program, thousands of dollars worth of training, hours and hours, and it stands for Achieving Competitive Excellence, and what it is a continuous improvement program. So what I would do, for example, let's say we wanted to look at the process of, uploading a video to YouTube from start to finish, whether it's from step one where the user actually cues their video to upload, all the way to the final step where it's on YouTube's end, where the video is converted, processed, and finally made live on YouTube's webpage, okay? I would take that process from start to finish. I would map it step by step. So it would be step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And what we would do is we would measure the time each step takes. We would figure out the factors involved in each step, and we would try to find the bottleneck. What is the step that's the most inefficient? What is the step that has the most problems in it? And once we find that, we would then work together with people from the business to figure out how to solve those problems, okay?
Okay, but yet you couldn't do that for your own business? Jesus Christ, he can't even upload videos in order. Not to say that he ever could, but he can't even do that now. And I mean, right? Granted, now it don't mean shit to him anyway. But back then, when it was important, still couldn't upload videos in order. Playlists were still jacked up. And then, do we really need to get into the financial aspects of how he's been conducting his business over the last 9-10 years? Do we really need to go there with that? That ACE certification didn't do jack shit or fuck all for anything. It didn't do not a goddamn thing. You would think, ladies and gentlemen, that any skill that you pick up, any skill, can be applied somewhere else at a later time and date, right? Once you learn something, it's yours, essentially. That's the whole point of knowledge. He didn't do that. Even in the profession that he's in now, he barely knew how to use YouTube and use it to his full advantage. He barely, when he was on an MCN, he barely was able to, he never even really utilized any of the real advantages that he had working through Machinima. Meaning, not only the reach out to free games, free paraphernalia, stuff like that, but I'll touch on that later, but also reaching out to his peers. All these people that are in the same camp as you, and and you could literally reach out to Machinima, to his contact, and then, you know what I'm saying, coordinate contact information or whatever. Or he could have messaged them through YouTube. Look at Twitch. He doesn't even utilize Twitch to its full advantage. He uses it for the most basic function, making money, and that's it. Won't think about trying to expand on it and maybe, you know, build the connections, look at the functionality, and see how you can be a better streamer, a better content creator, and how you can make even more money. No, I just want to use it for this blunt, I want to use it for its most blunt purpose, basically. And try to just squeeze as much money as I can out of it. Because remember, he doesn't make money through Twitch, or from Twitch. He makes it through Twitch, through begging. So all of the extra functionalities, all the other bells and whistles, that means nothing to him. He sees no worth in it. Especially if he's just bleeding his own fan base. Something to think about.
And so they sent me off, like I said, they trained me to do this. I actually ended up leading high-level events for this. ended up improving several things at my business. I ended up designing an entire new repair system for my business. And after all that, after spending thousands of dollars
for your
training
business? You mean for the company you work for? Whatever.
me, after spending countless hours training me and having me do all these great events and getting pat on the back and being told I was doing such a good job, they laid me off. Yeah. What a great fucking business, huh? What a great world we live in. But anyway, let's not dwell. Let's move on. This is my
diploma. He dwells about it every time he does this. But not just that. If you guys remember watching the first one I did, the first Condo tour that happened in 2011, February 2011, he actually was holding out that these people were going to call him. Now remember, that tour, that string of videos, happened in February of 2011. He was fired in September of 2010. So he legit thought for like 5 or 6 months that they may eventually call him back. And he was going to go back in. And now we're in August, which means we know that's not going to happen because he's coming up on his year anniversary of being fired. And he acting the way he acting now. Now let's see if he does it like the last video. Let's see when we get to that old box that had all of his work paraphernalia and stuff in it. Let's see how he reacts then.
In business, bachelor's of business from Fairfield University in Fairfield, Connecticut. This is a calendar from Sideshow Collectibles, the company who I buy most of my models and statues from. And this is Cobra Commander for August, which is pretty sweet. This is a poster of Mario, the history of Mario from start to finish. And it's kind of weird because the first thing they have on there is Mario from 1985, Super Mario Brothers. Knock knock, hey Nintendo. Mario debuted in Donkey Kong, not in Super Mario Brothers. So this poster's kind of incorrect. But also this poster's old. It ends in 2009, and obviously
yeah. But if they wanted to go with all of the titles that he did a standalone in, then maybe that's the reason why they went with it. Just saying.
On since then and done other things, so it's still a neat poster. Here we've got probably the most giant jumbled mess of shit ever. We've got a White Queen statue right here in front. Behind there we've got jumbo figurines of Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, and then some mini figurines of them as well, and other characters from Super Mario. I got these for half price at thinkgeek.com during a sale, and I said these might be nice to decorate something with, like an office or whatever, later on. So I was kind of thinking ahead, and they were cheap as hell anyway.
Legit was purchasing all this stuff because you really thought you were gonna get that office space. Holy shit! Now here's the thing. I want you guys to really try to take all this in and think this out for a minute. The reason why he wanted to buy a house, if you want to call it a house or a larger condo, whatever, is because he wanted a place to store all his shit. All his garbage, basically. But if he had acquired the office space that he's talking about, he may have never left Connecticut. Or he may have never left the state, I should say. He may have never left the state. He may have moved to another part of Connecticut, but he wouldn't have left the state if he had gotten that office space. And then you're buying all of this extra shit in advance for this office space that you ended up not getting, and then you're just stuck with all this. And yeah, he's saying, oh, well, I wanted to kind of plan ahead a little bit, but like maybe instead of you squandering all this money, right, to buy all this stuff, maybe you should be saving that money so you can probably put a couple months down on your rent at that office space, and then we see how that works out. Because if after a couple months, if things fall apart, all this shit means fuck all of whatever. Maybe you should have thought about that. Now I'm interested in wondering why that office space why the circumstances, I should say, about and around this office space didn't pan out. Now I'm interested in that. Now you've piqued my interest. Because I'm very, very curious on why that wasn't a thing. And that was in 2012 when he was aiming for all this. The video we're talking about is 2011. But he wanted to acquire that space in 2012. So hopefully in the 2012 or 2013 we'll hear a little bit more about it. But now I think about it, I think even in 2013, he still was trying to get that space, or just try to get space, an office space. So he's legit had his eye out for that for like 3 years. Oh my. Well, that changes things, doesn't it? That might be good. That may be interested to dig in a little bit more into. Excuse me.
Over here.
Dig a little more into.
Here we've got a plushie that Gamer Nicole actually made for me, and some fan art and some other stuff. All kinds of crazy shit is just like piled on here. Books. I've got all kinds of books and stuff. Buckyballs, which I've never used because the paint started coming off of them, but that's another story. So I had 2 out of the 3 original Lord of the Rings books from a very long time ago, and I couldn't find the first one, so I ended up buying the Lord of the Rings like Super Collector's Edition. I also got the Walking Dead Compendium, which has like the first 50 issues of that comic book in it. The Watchmen. I've got Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. I actually have the Zombie Combat Manual, which is very useful. I've actually used those skills many, many times in combat against zombies. And then we have the collection of George R.R. Martin Game of Thrones books. I think it's called like a Tale of Ice and Fire is really what it's called. And so far, here's what the story behind this is. I knew nothing about this fantasy series, okay? And then I believe it was on the way to UFGT this year, that gaming tournament that John and I went to in Chicago. I picked up a Game of Thrones at the bookstore at the airport, and I loved it. And so I read through half of it, and I said, you know what? I might as well just get them all. And I got them all. So now I have them all, and I have another copy of Game of Thrones in my bathroom where I do most of my reading, like most men do. Over here, at this computer, this is my backup computer in my bedroom. Various different things. We've got an air filter, we've got a humidifier, we've got a Darksydephil clock up there. We've got my old laptop under here, but on top is the bust of Shadowcat. If you haven't seen it yet, hubba hubba.
That's not Shadowcat. Sorry, I kind of blurred it there. Give me a second.
Speakers.
Okay, that's not Shadowcat. And I think I pointed this out in the last Condo tour. Hopefully I did, but that's not Shadowcat. It's Black Cat. So yeah, he's the Shadowcat. That he's thinking about is part of the X-Men. It's like Kitty Pryce or something like that. Something along those lines. I think is what her name is. But that's who he's thinking about. So you need to get that together, Phil. You need to get that together. And then, as we'll find out in later installments, she'll have a little panda like plushie on top of those mounds. So, that's a thing too.
Pens, all kinds of various things, burnable CDs, CD collections, another cable box in here if I want to watch TV in here. My printer is in here. Not much else to really show here. My PC's down there, odds and ends, boxes and shit. Thank you, Mario, but your princess is in another castle. This is a reprint of the original poster from 1985 that came with Super Mario Brothers, I believe, and also it was a Nintendo Power poster. Over here, my nightstand with waters and my alarm clock and such. We've got a poster here from Metroid Other M that was from Nintendo Power, which I thought was a pretty neat poster, so I put it up. Over my bed, as silly as this is, I've got a giant Super Mario poster, which is all the characters from all Super Mario games, including Donkey Kong. So in this one they remember Donkey Kong, in this one they completely write him off, whatever. But I thought that was a really cool poster. My bed's nothing special, as you can see, and it's actually been so hot here that for the past 3 weeks I've not even slept in the bed. I've slept on top of the bed. Not even lying. I don't even sleep in the bed. I just sleep on top of it because it's so fucking hot. Here we have my old tube TV, which I do still use from time to time.
That your mom bought you, that's right next to your front door, might have came in handy there. Just saying. I think your mother knew what she was doing.
Play old school games. And this is my another dresser, which I put clothes in, a spare pillow. This is this is the box of stuff that basically, when I was laid off, they took out of my desk. And my dad brought it home one day, because my dad actually still works at the company that laid me off. And I never unpacked it. I said, you know what, fuck this.
Wait. First off, the last time we saw that, it was on the floor, but now it's up there. So they didn't even let him clean out his own desk. They cleared it out for him. and gave the contents to his dad, and his dad brought it home to him because he was still living. No, he was already moved out of the house by then. Yeah, he was already moved out. My bad, because he moved out in 2009, I think, like June or July. Wow, they didn't even let you clear out your own desk? Damn! I don't think I've ever been at a place that I've ever seen them have someone else clear your desk out. They always have you do it, and then you do the walk of shame. Oh shit! That sucks. Yikes.
I don't even want to look at that stuff, you know? It's like, those 5 years of my life invested in that company just for them to throw me out like they did. And I think that it was just a particular group of people in there that didn't know what they were doing. And by the way, they don't work there anymore, so that's kind of funny. But
yeah, I guess you can take solace in that. But what about when you thought they were gonna, call you back? What happened to that one there, champ? Nothing? Nothing? All right.
Anyway, I just haven't. There's like a boom box. There's office supplies in there. I really haven't had a reason to unpack it. Again, maybe if I get an office next year, I'll take that stuff to the office with me or something like that. And here I have a mini fridge with earthbound magnets on the front.
This dude legit wanted to have office space to play games. Now, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people, especially in recent years, who have bought office space, right, and then turned it into like a giant, like almost like a studio soundstage. People have done that. People still do that, actually. I've seen people do that, especially with office spaces. Especially if you can get, if you can get a couple of rooms on a floor, then you can definitely make shit really happen if you want to. I get that, but no, he was legit flushing money away. He was legit flushing money away. God damn, Phil. Oh, if he had just had a bigger condo, he could have just had. You could have just used the other room for that. But you were legit gonna rent office space to play video games. Wow. Actually, riddle me this, okay? Well, let's go ahead. Let's play a game of hypothetical pignosis, our favorite game. What are you gonna do, Phil, on the days that you don't feel like working? Like, because we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at both sides of this. You have the fact of him working from home, waking up whenever the fuck he feels like, hopefully brushing his teeth and doing all that, and then heading out into his living room and starts playing games. To now getting up, getting a shower, driving to wherever this office space at, rain, sleet, snow, whatever, and then having to put the content out, and then recording this content, and then having to upload it. Which, it'd probably be nice, him uploading it from somewhere else outside of his own personal peripherals, but that's going to be way more space. That's going to be a lot of space, a lot of money that he's going to have to put into, not just only renting the office space out, but peripherals. He's going to need at least one or two more PCs in there. If he's going to have John and Howard jump in on that and turn them into employees, which is what I surmise is what he was thinking about doing, he's going to have to work out how he's going to pay them, and giving how Howard didn't get shit for any of his efforts, and John got ripped more often than not and for his efforts. No way. Especially now that we know that they were that Machinima was overpaying him, and then with all of the future cuts that he eventually ended up taking, like, how they had to keep, air quotes, restructuring his contracts. Yeah, that office space could have tanked his ass. Just imagine, yet again, hypothetical pignosis. Just imagine how history would have been if he ended up getting that office space. And it's a 50-50. No, it's actually like... What his productivity... his productivity might have gone up. The quality probably still wouldn't have gone up. Maybe. If John and Howard really pushed for it. But then you're talking about the big playthroughs would have only been if they were there. Whereas him having solo playthroughs on his own, which he might as well just do that at home. And Lord knows if you don't want him being drunk in the office. Oh man, that could have been ugly. That could have been ugly in the worst case scenario. I don't know. I'll leave that for you guys to kind of ponder on. But, yikes.
Inside there are various odds and ends and drinks like leftovers. It's kind of funny. This is like the misfit toys of drinks. You've got random beers. You've got wine coolers. You've got Gatorade G3, which I'll probably never drink. That was supposed to be for a DSP tries that I never did. We've got sangria left over. We've got things for like mixed drinks, mojitos and shit down there. And there's like a bottle of Diet Pepsi in there. Just in case anyone comes.
Khando was how old when you were dating her in Connecticut? I mean, yeah, when you were dating her in Connecticut, she was under 20. She didn't actually turn 21 until you guys moved to Washington. Right? Is that how the story goes, allegedly? So you were promoting underage drinking, Phil? Buddy? I'm asking. I'm just asking. But just for the record, by the way, I think he was talking to her before she was 18. I'm not saying that they were dating before she was 18, but I think he was talking to her before she was 18.
Over and they want Diet Pepsi. This is my giant mirror, which is actually a closet. And just to show you an idea of the mess that's inside of this closet, it's pretty packed with shit. You've got my NES, you've got boxes from all of the statues and models packed in there. You've got sleeping bags, luggage, hats. My jersey, my Darksydephil jerseys from back in the day are hanging here. All kinds of clothing and such over there. There's my you can't see it because it's pitch black, but there's my projector right there that I mentioned earlier that I bought for too many games and never got to use it. A lot of shit packed in there. And the same thing over here. This side is primarily like clothes that I used to wear to my old job, you know, khaki pants or whatever, and polos and button-down shirts and all kinds of extra pillows and comforters and stuff. And this is, you know, sheets and everything. Nothing interesting at all, but, you know, you wonder, gee, where does he keep all this stuff? That's where. And last but not least, above this, above the closet, we've got the poster from Game Informer from their year-end top, I think it was like top 25 characters of the decade. From 2000 to 2010, they had these like multiple covers that they did at Game Informer. It was like 4 covers that fit together, or 2 or 3. I'm sorry, it was probably 3 covers that fit together. And they had this long poster that they made out of the artwork. The artwork's really high quality, and I got the poster and I hang it above here. It's the perfect place to put it. So, all right, that is it for my current condo tour. I really don't at this point foresee myself changing much anymore. Like, if I get more artwork, where's it really going to go? There's only a couple spots left that I've been looking, like a couple spots in the bedroom or whatever, but at this at this point it's pretty much all filled up. And so really, I think the next time that you'll be seeing something like this would be next year, when hopefully, if everything works out with what I'm doing on YouTube, what I'd like to do is get the hell out of here and get us, like I said, get an office where I can do a lot of my filming, where I can do my uploading, and not have to worry about my modem going down here, having a business class internet, having a place where I could do better filming, a studio where I have like a blank wall where maybe I could do a green screen and I could do effects and I could put more time into what I'm doing. I know for a fact that if I put more time into what I'm doing and I do more effects and such, then I'll get a wider viewing audience. The problem is right now, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, if I put all that time and effort into it, right now I'm doing really well just pumping out the quantity of content that I'm putting out. Not to say that the quality isn't up there, it's just that the video editing quality isn't there. That doesn't, the content of the videos is good, it's just not pretty.
And none of that ever happened. Ever happened. He must apparently had a lot, he had a lot riding on that office space. He really did. So then, instead of having an office space, we decided to go ahead and transition into going ahead and owning our own home instead, and still didn't come through on any of his promises. Wow.
Okay. If I get my own place, my own studio, I can look to make it pretty, to do better things with it. When I do a Hateful Truth, film myself in front of a green screen and have a background of the game going on or something like that while I'm reviewing the game in front of it. That's the kind of ideas that I have. So we'll see what happens with that, and if that does happen, that's probably the next time you'll see one of these videos. I'll be touring the office and say, look, here's my office, here's how I set it up, here's how I decorated it, and you know, you'll get an inside look at that. But we have no idea what's going to happen in the near future. That's just, you know, forward thinking, and I sure as hell I'm not sure that that's ever going to happen, but I'm just saying, you know, that's kind of the ideas that I have bouncing in my head. So anyway, that is it for this condo tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been very thorough. I think I've covered every square inch besides the bathroom, and I'm not showing you the bathroom because you don't need to see that. You don't need to see my stinky place. And alright, so that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys for gameplay soon.
Oh boy. Alright. Okay. It is what it is there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was DSP's Condo tour for August of 2011. And that office space thing is interesting, to say the very least. I don't know. In an alternate history, in an alternate version of Goutopia, I wonder how that would have played out. I think I want to sit down. I want to think about that. I may want to talk to a few people and get their ideas of that. I'm anxious to, because that right there is pivotal. Because if that fails, the amount of money he sunk into that is going to be. That's a problem. That could be a big problem. So I don't know. I'm gonna mess with that for a minute and see how that would have played out. But that would have been interesting. Oh, that would have been interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a chance to go ahead and straighten up, and we'll reconvene in just a second for final thoughts. Oh shit! Woo, Philly boy, what are you doing?
Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you act no problem, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that isn't comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jen Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my twin smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey. And the felt of the velvet, I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes.
Oh boy. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Condo tour. Oh, the Condo tour of August of 2011. You saw more of his acquisitions. Apparently, most of that stuff was supposed to be for this particular office space. I'm actually kind of needing to reach out to a few people. And I want to see if there are other videos where he talks about what his plans were. I want to know why it didn't happen. I have questions now. I have a lot of questions on why that office space thing didn't come to fruition. Was the rent too much? Was he not able to get John and Howard on board? I have questions, ladies and gentlemen. I have questions, but we'll save that for a later time and date. It's amazing how he squandered whatever money he made in 6 months. That was 6 months from the original Condo tour, and he was going full blown with the shit he was spending. So much so that these people were like, "Well, shit, if this idiot's gonna keep spending money with us, send him a free poster, keep him on the hook." Like, Jesus Christ, Phil. Phil Burnell, ladies and gentlemen, could have so much more for his money, and he just couldn't. He didn't have no vision. That's really what it comes down to. He could have buying that condo was the first big fucking mistake he made. He could have owned or purchased a nice home in Connecticut, maybe in a nicer area or in a decent area, if you will, whatever. He could have owned a very nice place. So it all starts with the condo in general. He could have owned a really nice spot, and then he could have had some really nice stuff in there, and he could have had a room designated just for that space. Green screen, everything. Much bigger than even the space that he has currently. If he was willing to put in the footwork. And he's never been able to do that. He's never been willing to do that. And he's willing to settle for whatever. And that's kind of the problem with Phil Burnell. He has all these visions of how grandiose he is and everything that he deserves, right? Or everything that he's worthy of. But yet he's not willing to put in the footwork for those very things. You're already going to be paying for it, so why don't you purchase something that you want? You know what I mean? Like something that can actually you can actually utilize to make you even more money later on down the line. He wasn't willing to do that. It was still bare minimum. It was still, lazy pignosis, self-imposed pignosis, if you will. He is his greatest detractor. He is his greatest detractor. And I think also seeing the condo tours in general, condos, sorry. I feel like I'm saying condor. But going through these tours, I think one of the biggest thing that you get to see is, and you should really take in, is what his mindset is and how that mindset physically manifests itself, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, outside of him just being a consumer, he is someone who covets, right? So what is it that we covet? The things that we see every day, right? So I think what happens is when he goes on YouTube and he's seeing these house or condo tours from these other successful YouTubers and whatnot, and he sees how they're acquiring things, and he's seeing how, oh, well, I do all my stuff here, I'm showing you guys my home, I'm going to show you what my office looks like now. And either takes them down to a finished basement or a finished attic, or even to a whole nother location where they have their office. I think Phil sees all of that and thinks, I should have that too. And that's how he bases his ideas and his plans off of. Because Phil is not very original. He is someone who takes an idea that he's already seen somewhere else and then implements it himself. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I'm just giving you an idea of what his lack of creativity is like. He's someone who borrows very heavily off people around him. Think of all the different the different sub goals he's had, or tip goals, or whatever. More often than not, those aren't his ideas, those are somebody else's ideas. You know what I mean? Even Patreon goals were never really his idea. It was something that was given to him by somebody else. Those are somebody else's ideas. So as you see, as we continue to make our way through all these different house tours or condo tours or whatever, I want you guys to see how his mentality, how his mental ambitions translate to what's around him. I want you to really try to take all that in, because that really explains in a lot of ways why Darksydephil is the way he is now, and why he's in the financial situations that he's been in, which have started since the very beginning. This isn't anything new, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Not at all. And it also shows he'll continue to make the same mistakes. He'll make more mistakes, I should say. He'll do them in a slightly different way, but he still will make those mistakes. It's in his nature. Even though he's filed for the bankruptcy and he was granted it, for the years prior, income was dropping, having to open up new credit cards, having to do multiple balance transfers, and didn't curb his spending at all. He kept spending, thinking that it would all turn around, and it didn't. And look at now, with the WWE Champions thing. He should have given that shit up by now. It's a fucking sinkhole. Especially with being granted the bankruptcy, he's damn near almost has a clean slate outside of mid-first. And the money that goes to WWE Champions should have gone to mid-first to pay that condo off, or get that shit off his back before they have to sue him. In the worst case scenario. Oh well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys for the next one, whenever that may be. Hopefully, sooner than later. This is this is the GOUT report/retort, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Networking Productions. For DSP News Second Edition, I've been your host/anchor, GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. Holy shit. Oh, that Office Space. Later, people.
Singing mood and drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood and drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. I wanna live in Bolivia, be oblivious. I'm sick of always having to deal with these idiots. The ignorance is ubiquitous and it's hideous. When I get lucky, that's when I'm the wittiest. When people don't leave me alone, that's the shittiest. When people leave their phone at home, that's the prettiest. Going on a hike shouldn't be considered hippie shit. It's okay to spend some days away from your affiliate.